Here we are, outside of Penn Station. What is it, 8:15 a.m., 55 degrees. The bus stop tells us across the street. You know what? I'm going to walk down 6th Avenue today. A little time, a little change of pace. But first, I'm on 7th, got to walk over to 6th. What is today? The 23rd? Wednesday, the 23rd of April, I think it is. This is what, 31st Street I'm walking down? Geez, I can't even remember. Can't even remember the corner I get out on twice a week, which I think is 7th Avenue and 31st. We'll see if at the other end, double check. Talk about going through the motions, huh? There's a hook and ladder 24. But it's a Wednesday. That means I get to go to the comic shop after I get off the train this afternoon. That's always fun. I think I've got 8 or 10 comics waiting for me today. Don't remember how many. But I think 4 of them are Chris Russo alternate covers, which would make 14 of the 16 haven't come out, which means there's probably 2 more next week. Those are the covers that my friend and former Marvel bullpenner Chris Russo is doing for a variety of Marvel comics this month. So I've been collecting them. And it's also the first time I've been reading nearly a month's worth of Marvel. I shouldn't even say nearly a month's worth, because there's only going to be 16 Marvel comics in a month. But I haven't read 16 Marvel comics in a month since I was a kid, probably. Being an indie comic guy. All right. We're almost to 6th Avenue. We're making it. Avenue of the Americas. Let's see what we got.
Because everything got stolen out of it.
I've only got 1 comic that I'm giving away today. Well, I get a trade paperback. Let's see. What am I giving away to a student today? Hold on. Let's see what's... It is 31st. I was right. I'm glad I was right. The trade paperback I'm giving away is... Wow, it's an old one now. It's a cross-gen trade paperback. Remember how many people out there remember cross-gen comics from the early 2000s? I think they were around from like 2001 to 2005 or something like that. They had a lot of good comics. I liked a lot of them. But this particular one was one I didn't collect, called Mystic. Can't remember who wrote it. Brandon Peterson drew it, at least the early stuff. And I only picked up ever one. I usually collected cross-gen comics in individual issues. But that one I hadn't been buying, so I picked up the first trade paperback collection of it, which I think was the first 6 or so issues. And it was all right. I remember liking it, but I didn't have any room on my pull list back then, so I never. That was never one of the ones I collected. But now, I actually here's the sequence of events as I remember reading them back then. For whatever reason, CrossGen went out of business. They went into bankruptcy. And the story goes that Disney wanted one of the cross-gen properties, So of course they bought them all in the bankruptcy auction. And then a few years after that, Disney bought Marvel Comics. So now Marvel Comics has the rights to all the cross-gen properties. And it was only in the last couple of years that they reprinted some cross-gen stuff. They made an omnibus. An omnibus is a giant hardcover collection of the entire series of a book called Sigil from CrossGen, which was another one I never bought back in the day, but I ended up picking up the omnibus for it last year, enjoyed it thoroughly, and now they've got a Mystic omnibus out. Once again, giant hardcover. They're expensive too. I think like the full retail price on them is so I can get across this street before that stops blinking. The full retail price on them is like $125, something crazy like that. But I got the Sigil one for about $60, and right now the Mystic one I think is around $90. But I'll try to wait for that price to come down before I get it. But meanwhile, I'll give away that first trade paperback since I'm eventually gonna. Well, first of all, I haven't read it in 20 years, so I'm probably not. But I will read the omnibus when I finally get it. So eventually, I'll have everything that's in the trade paperback in the omnibus. At least that's my plan. And also, since if you check my YouTube page, you can see I put up a unboxing of art supplies from Dick Blick, which means I have other art supplies I'm giving away to my students. I love to try things out. And sometimes I try things out and never use them. So this week I'm giving away, I have this series of, they're markers, but they're brush markers. And they're designed to look like Japanese calligraphy markers with bamboo handles. They're pretty good. They've just been sitting around though since I bought them. So I never use them. I'm going to give those away. I've also got this set of that I've had for years. I don't know how long they've been sitting around. Long enough for the plastic pouch, the clear plastic pouch that they're in, to turn a bit yellow. And they're, once again, little black markers of different sizes. But what makes them different from the other little black markers I use is that the tips on these little black markers are metal. The whole idea is that if they've got a metal tip, the tips won't wear down as you use the markers. Turned out I didn't like the metal tip very much. I liked the idea of the tip not wearing down, but turned out I didn't like the idea of the tip not wearing down. Because when I went to use them, there was no give to them. Like with the usual little black marker or something, you press it against the paper, even if there's not much give, there's a little bit of give to them. There's a feel to it. And the metal tip ones, I just didn't have. They just didn't have the feel. I just didn't like on them, I should say. So now I'm giving those away. Oh, and there's one other thing. It was a mechanical pencil set. I think there's about like 3 pencils, 3 erasers, a whole bunch of lead, but they're sort of lead holder pencils. I don't know if you know what they are, but most mechanical pencils I use, the lead is or graphite is a specific width. either 0.5 millimeters, 0.9 millimeter. I use 0.7 millimeter the most. That's the mechanical pencil I use the most. These are what are often called lead pointers. So it's a piece of graphite, but it's 2 millimeters. So it's pretty big. But you have these little sharpeners that they use on them to bring them to a really sharp point. And it's got a whole bunch of, it's a pencil set with like 3 of those pencils. But it turns out the pencils are metal. I don't like drawing with a metal pencil, especially when the grip, they have like a textured metal grip that's almost like a nail file. Man, I can't stand that grip. So I never use these pencils. They're still all in the set. I thought they were cool too when they weren't expensive either. I thought they were cool too because in the set of all the 2 millimeter leads is a bunch of colored leads. And my friend Ed has a colored lead technique that he uses all the time. That he got from looking at Harvey Kurtzman's work, where Harvey Kurtzman and Ed both, they'll draw in one color, and then they'll redraw in a second color, and even redraw in a third color. So like, you know, all my redrawings are in the same graphite, but their redrawings are in different colors, so you can see the changes being made. It's kind of interesting. But turns out I'm really not going to do that. I've had this pencil set for a year now, and I haven't touched it. So I'm just coming to the grips with, you know, just because I want to try out some art supply doesn't mean I have to keep it forever. I can get rid of it. It doesn't have to clutter up the place. And that way I have room for the new art supplies. Matter of fact, that's exactly why I started giving them away. I think last year, the year before, to begin with, is I had no room left. I was buying some new little black pens, and I had no spot to put them. I had these pen holders that must fit 200 or 300 pens. I mean, they're all these holders with, you know, little holes in them or whatever, grids that fit 20, 40 pens. And all of mine were filled up completely. I was like, ooh, I can't buy any more little markers or little black pens until I get rid of some of these because there's no spot to put them. So that's when I started giving stuff away. Oh, pretty nice morning out here, by the way. I've got on my my lighter coat, painted coat, the sport coat type one with paintings on it. I'll show it to you. Where are we? 20th Street? Once we get down to 14th Street. Here on lovely 6th Avenue. There's Blick across the street. I ordered from the website, but across the street there's an actual physical brick and mortar Blick store. It goes up to that second floor there. So you enter on the corner. There's a little spot on the street level, and you go up. I think it's just one floor. Big floor though. I've only been there a couple of times. I usually order from their website. Or there's also a Blick in Paramus, New Jersey that I've driven to before. I haven't been there in a little while either. Lots of scaffolding across the street at TJ Maxx. Let's take a look at these cars coming here. Zipping through. Let's see, I think after this one we can go. Gotta watch out for this bike. The Container Store. I actually ordered some containers. Small ones. Pencil boxes. Clear pencil boxes. As I say, I've been reorganizing a bunch of my supplies. I've been reorganizing a whole lot of stuff over the last year or two. Stuff that was kind of tucked away. I want to be able to see. Like I mentioned before, I've been reorganizing all my drawings that I have sitting around. And I also have a bunch of like little art supplies in boxes. But they're cardboard boxes, so I have to open them all the time to see what's in there. And there are also some markers, especially some of those Montana paint markers I just got, that have to be stored flat. All the pen holders I have store the pens up and down rather than laying on their side. Plus, those Montana paint markers are so thick they don't even fit in. They don't even fit in one of those pen holders. So, ended up ordering a whole bunch of clear pencil boxes, which aren't coming until Saturday, I think. I like to order things used. And lately I've been ordering stuff off of eBay, used or refurbished. Just got a set of refurbished, what are they at? Pro AirPods 2, I think they are. Got a refurbished Apple Watch off of eBay. But these ones I actually bought off of Amazon. But they were they're used pencil boxes. I think someone just returned them usually. And it's like 10 pencil boxes for $20 or something. Except in this case, I got the used ones were for $1.50 off, so they're like $18.50. Except instead of coming the next day, they take a week. But that's all right. I don't need them. I don't need them really, really fast. Saturday's certainly good enough. And, you know, sometimes I just feel better not getting brand new, like buying something used or refurbished can keep stuff out of the garbage dump. Let's see, another one. What are we coming up to here? 15th. All right, so we're almost to 14th Street. Let's see, our favorite games. Oh, that's right. 14th up. Once we cross 14th, we go through the green walled tunnel as construction is being done. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, I think I'm tired at the end of my walk here. Maybe I'm just tired of talking. I can't tell. Here we go. Yep, looks like we got the walk sign. We can dash across. Well, we won't dash in front of this bus. That's for sure. Now here we go into the green tunnel. Here's the green tunnel for us. Walls everywhere. Pedestrian walkway. Here we go. Almost to the end of our walk. It's always good to come out in the light. end of the tunnel out into the light. The light of 14th Street. All right, we're heading down that way. 3. Okay, here's a quick glimpse at my painted jacket I got on today. And you guys all have a good week out there.